What's up guys, welcome to another edition of the vlog. We're in the Bahamas and I'm going to show you guys everything and I'm going to talk about all of my key hands. I can't wait to show you. The blinds are 200-500 with a 500 ante. Manuel Fellatiado Huivo makes it 1,000 from early position. The guy next to him, who has been playing PLO till 4 AM, calls. I have ace jack. The hand is pretty good, but I don't like to play it multi-way so much. If more people behind me call or raise, it's a pretty bad situation. However, my hand blocks tons of strong hands like ace king, ace queen and jacks. Good candidate for a bluff. 4,000 is the bet. It folds around again to Fellatiado and both him and Mr. PLO call. The flop is deuce-deuce-3 with 2 spades. Pretty good. My ace high is actually going to be good plenty of times and there's not a lot of hands with good equity out there. The one problem is, it's relatively likely one of them has a pair. I can get away with a small bet here. It would make sense for my strong hands as well since the board is so dry. Fellatiado has someone behind him so I can leverage their stacks against each other. I bet 3,500. Both people call. Honestly, not even that much of a disaster. Fellatiado can still have ace highs, flush draws or even king queen of clubs. The turn is another deuce. Now it gets interesting. I'm the only one that's gonna have jacks or higher, probably even tens. Flush draws are dead because of the trips on board. I can still leverage my opponents versus each other. So after they both check, I bet 11,000. Ideally, Fellatiado folds a lower pair and Mr. PLO folds high cards. Fellatiado calls however, and this just means I'm done with the hand. I need an ace or a jack to make the best hand, and a king or a queen to bluff. The other guy gets out and we go to the river. It's a jack. Absolute dream. He checks and I go all in for 16,000. There's no way he has jacks or better, so this is the easiest value bet ever. He goes in the tank. He calls. He sees my hand and frustratedly throws 9s on the table. Good luck at the roulette table, sir.
But I wasn't really watching. I didn't see the jack on the river.
You're used to the old me.
No, just like when you tabled it, it was like ace high.
That would be bad. When I go like, ooh. Good?
He tabled it and he got upset. I was still thinking ace high. I was like,
oh,
sick.
Yeah. We're still at the same table. It's the next orbit. I have ace jack of hearts in the small blind. Mr. PLO makes it 1,000 from the cutoff. My hand plays fine out of position, plus Vanessa Kate in the big blind is pretty aggressive. If I call here, I have a good hand to call a 3-bet with or to back jam. She just calls though and we see jack 8 deuce with 2 clubs. Great flop for me. My hand is strong enough even to check raise. Everyone checks. Turn is a very nice looking 3 of spades. I bet 2,500 and Vanessa folds. Mr. PLO puts in 5,500 and I'm extremely confused. The raise is super small and looks extremely strong. But I'm also extremely strong. The only option here is to call. The river is the king of spades and I check. Mr. PLO cuts out 12,000. I have no clue what to make of this. One thing that keeps resonating with me is that if he wanted to bluff, he could have easily done it on the flop. The turn didn't change the board at all. Also, if he wants to bluff, he generally raises bigger. Time to take a look. His pulse is raising visibly in his neck. That generally means somebody's super weak or super strong. Or maybe it's just the fact that he was awake till 4 AM. I just don't see how a weak hand like a bad flush draw doesn't just bet the flop. It doesn't make any sense to play a bluff this way. I throw my hand away and I immediately see a little smirk. Uh-oh, that looks like a man who pulled off a bluff, says Jason Mercier. He laughs and admits he was bluffing. To make matters worse, he said he wanted to call the turn, but accidentally put out 5,500 instead of 2,500. So that's why it didn't make sense. At the river, he realized that he needed to get me off a jack, and he had to bet. What a random coincidence. If he doesn't misclick the turn, we go to the river, I can value bet, and he can decide to call or fold, whatever, because he clearly had a pair lower than a jack. What an annoying hand.
Just a washed up old man.
Impressive high kick. Like not a good combo. Yeah. It's day 2 of the mystery bounty. At our table we have some good players, some faces I don't know, but more importantly, some short stacks. People still had the chance to buy in for 20 big blinds and we have 2 late reggers at our table. This is great because everything today will be about bounties. One of the shorter stacks opens to 4,000. The rest of the table folds, and I look down at 8-3 of clubs. I love defending these types of hands for some reason. Maybe it has to do with the fact that if you hit something, it feels extra gross for your opponent, so I decide to call. The dealer spreads the flop, and the first card I see is an 8. My pulse quickens. The two other cards are a king and a 4. Not what I hoped for after seeing the 8, but definitely not bad. I'll have the best hand a decent amount of the time, and if I don't, I have potential. I check. The short stack also checks. This is a good sign for me. Now I'm hoping for a brick or to improve my hand. The dealer puts out an ace. I don't like this card at all. At this point, I have zero reason to do anything other than check, so I do. My opponent makes a quick check back. That surprised me, as I think he should have bet anything reasonable at this point. The river's a 3. It completes the backdoor flush, but I think I have the best hand a lot of the time. I consider my options carefully, because I really want to win his bounty. I don't think it makes any sense to overbet all in. That means the only path to a possible bounty is to check. I check laying the trap. After some thought, my opponent bites. He probably has some type of one pair hand that he will want to get some value with. He puts out a small 3k bet. This is perfect. Now I have to play the pretend game. I want him to think I'm acting on weakness. I tank for a bit and I announce all in. I can see the misery on his face. He is really regretting not checking back. Great. I'm confident I have the best hand. Now please call so I can scoop my first ever mystery bounty. He thinks. I can see the pain in his eyes. And he calls. I show my 8-3 of clubs and I get the exact reaction I love when people see hands like this. He shows his king-jack of diamonds and I win the bounty. I can't wait to see how much I'm going to pull from that envelope. One bounty in the pocket, a big stack, and I feel amazing. I feel even better now that I look down on 2 black kings. I open to 4,500 in the 1k 2k with a 2k ante level. My neighbor on the left goes all in for 17,000. This would be a call with any hand I open, but now that I have kings, I'm extra excited. I'm watching the other players closely. Whenever a bounty declares all in, it turns into a witch hunt. I have the perfect hand to take to war. Everyone folds though, but it's still great that I'm up against the ace-6 of diamonds of my neighbor. The flop, king 5-3 with 2 diamonds. Amazing, I can already taste the sweet bounty. But my excitement is quickly diminished, because the dealer puts a 7 of diamonds on the turn. Yuck. My opponent now has a flush beating my set. I now need the board to pair to make a better hand. The dealer puts out the 5 of hearts, full house. 2 mystery bounties, and we're flying.
Second one now.
Yeah. Cheers. Alright. Oh. Interesting. That's an interesting run out. Alright, GG. That was a no-outer. So we got it all in 3-way on the flop. 6-3 deuce. I have 5-4. I'm up against ace high, ace 5, and I'm up against 6-9. So he has a pair of 6s. 3 all in. Actually too ridiculous to even fucking talk about, honestly. He has 6-9, 6-3 deuce. Turn is a 9, river's a 6. So he makes a full house. Literally the only run out that makes me bust. Unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. Holy shit.